Hey everyone, it's Rylan. It's April 30th, 2018 at 1:08 p.m. And I wanted to make this video to commemorate slash document the past year of my transition because it's been a pretty crazy year. Long story short, a little about me. I am a YouTuber. I live in New York and identify as a transgender, gender fluid human being. When I first started making my YouTube, I was in the beginning of questioning my gender identity, and then as time went on, I identified as FtM. Throughout my time of, I want to say, the almost 4 years that I've been on YouTube, I've gone through everything from changing my legal name, my gender marker, having top surgery, being on hormones for 2 years, and then stopping hormones for a year. And so the specific reason that I'm making this video today is I wanted to document the changes that have happened since being off of tea for an entire year. I decided to stop taking tea on April 25th, which was last Wednesday, which actually happened to be my birthday. So I decided last year on my birthday that I was going to make this gigantic life change and see what happened. At the time, I had been on tea for a year and 10 months, so I was just round up and say that I was on tea for 2 years. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to give a little backstory a very short backstory of where I've come from. I do have a playlist on my channel called Gender Evolution, or my gender journey, and it's kind of all these videos spaced throughout the years of how my gender identity has come to evolve. So I think right now is the perfect place to put in a video of some of the main reasons why I decided to stop taking tea, so I don't really have to rehash them. So here we go. Hey everyone, it's Rylan. It's Thursday, April 27th, 2015 at 5:20 p.m. And okay, so I'm sure you can tell by the title, whatever I decided to name it, that I've made a really big decision. And after being on testosterone for a year and 10 months, I have decided that I am going to stop taking tea. I realized that I feel comfortable presenting as female. I don't want to find myself down the road in a couple years or even a couple months having like a full beard and having to cover up 5 o'clock shadow with makeup. That's not a look that I'm comfortable with. There are people that do that. There are celebrities like Manny Mua who proudly has a 5 o'clock shadow and wears makeup. That's great for him, but that's not a look that I'm comfortable with. Detransitioning, because that's just not something, like, I don't identify with that word at all. I'm not de anything. I still feel partly male, and I just don't want to be fully in man land. I want to be able to express my gender in a way that is not firmly tied down to a masculine presenting side. I want to be able to still wear makeup and be able to pass as female, but then also I want to be able to wear masculine clothing. And, you know, I realized maybe in this moment, honestly, that I don't know that passing as male is my goal anymore, which is why I think I'm okay with stopping tea. I feel more male inside, and I don't know that I'm at the point anymore that I need my outside to match my inside anymore. Just wanted to let you guys know that this is what's going on, and I appreciate the support in advance. I'm still me, I'm still here, I'm still queer. I'm just changing the external a little bit to what I think is going to make me most comfortable on this earth. So, alright, thank you guys so much for watching. So as you can see, basically the main reasons were, honestly, one of the main reasons was is I was sick of getting facial hair. I was not okay with what I was getting, and once I realized that I was gender fluid in January of 2017, I wanted to be able to have that fluidity of being able to flow through both, and I figured the more my facial hair came in, the farther I would be able to get away from being fluid. So, let's talk about the changes that have happened now that I've been an entire year off of testosterone after being on it for 2 years. So this is in no particular order. I made a list just to try and keep this organized, because for those of you that watch my videos, you know that I never make lists. My videos are never fucking scripted. So I just wanted to make a list to keep things organized so I didn't forget anything, and this video could be as informative and helpful to whoever's watching this. So just top of the list, I wanted to talk about my vocal range. So if you watch videos of me pre-T, my voice was a lot higher. 14 days on T. I know some of you that do not watch my videos are probably listening to me right now and saying, he sounds like a girl, why is his voice so high, no way was he on testosterone. Well, friends, this has just happened. This is where my voice stayed. Like I said, it did used to be multiple octaves higher, and it has dropped into this range. This is considered a male range for me. This is my voice 107 days on T. 7 months on testosterone. Today is July 9th, 2016, and I'm 365 days on testosterone. I'm a professional singer. I've really stepped away from singing since I started my transition because of how difficult it was dealing with my singing voice changing, because for those of you that know anything about music, I lost an entire octave on the top. Hands touch, eyes meet, sorry silence, sudden heat, heart bleeds in any world, he could be and I gained half an octave on the bottom. Down to the gutter, up to the glitter, into the city where the truth lies. Where do I go? Follow the children. Where do I go? Follow their smiles. Follow the wind song. Follow the thunder. So I lost a very large chunk of my voice, which has been extremely difficult to deal with, considering I went to college for musical theater and I'm still working as a professional actor in New York. So that's been a really difficult change to deal with. But in the end, I can say, looking now a year, having a year forward, when all I wanted when I was on T was to have my voice drop and to be able to be in that male range. And now that I realize and have kind of come full circle in realizing that I am gender fluid, I am happy that my voice stayed where it did, because again, it does give me that fluidity to have my days where I'm totally glammed out and then have my days where I'm more androgynous. Personally, as far as like vocabulary goes for me, I don't like the term presenting as male anymore. I don't identify with the term FTM. I used to say in the beginning that I identified as gender fluid FTM, but that's not my narrative anymore. I don't believe that I am transitioning to male anymore. I believe that my gender identity is way too complex. I always say that I'm not a pizza. I don't fit into a box. So, if anything, I guess you could say that I'm transmasculine, but I really try not to like put myself in a specific category, and I just kind of dress the way that I want in whatever way that comes off, which is usually a very androgynous or very specifically female way, then that's what's going on for the day. Um a very, very big change, if not the biggest, if I look through my list very quickly, would be my skin. My skin and my face changes are the two biggest changes. My acne and the oiliness of my skin was absolutely incredible how much that changed over my time on testosterone. From the first week that I started testosterone, I'll try to include a picture. I started getting acne right on my forehead. Um, my skin became instantly oily. I would be able to touch my forehead and feel the oil. My face would kind of be shiny, but not really. But I would just have like acne all over the place, but not necessarily acne in the sense of like risen acne, but just like blotches on my skin that like I'm not wearing any makeup right now. Obviously, like I don't have a fucking filter on my camera. And this is how clear and soft my skin is right now. And I'm going to show you guys a video right now of what my skin looked like and how I was not kidding about how bad my skin was.
Okay, so I went to the deli because I was looking for Live Wire Mountain Dew orange soda because it's my favorite. And they used to sell it at this deli that I go to, and it hasn't been there for like 2 weeks. So like I asked the guy, I was like, "Hey, like, are you guys still selling this?" And he like didn't really speak English, and he was like talking about a different soda, and I was like, "No, like, are you gonna get this back? What's happening?" And finally, I just got like sick of it, and I was like, "Never mind, thank you." And then he started singing Adele to me. He's like, "Never mind, I'll find someone like you." So I just want my soda. I don't want to be serenaded.
So that lasted like the duration. Then as time went on, I want to say like I honestly can't say, I can't lie and be like 6 months in or 4 months in. I don't know, but eventually my skin fucking cleared up, and now I'm left with like baby soft skin, and I look how I used to when I was younger. And I'm not gonna say how old I am, but I'm a lot older than I look. um, so yeah, I got really lucky, I guess, with having my skin go back to how it was before. Um, Interesting fact is the facial hair that I had when I stopped taking tea. For those of you that aren't necessarily in the trans community and aware of this, that is an irreversible change. So the irreversible changes of a female-bodied person being on testosterone would be the facial hair that comes in, and any bottom growth that you have, as well as your voice staying where it is. So yes, my facial hair that I have, as sparse as it is, I have a little bit of a mustache. Depending on how long I let it grow, I would say 2 to 3 weeks, it'll really be visible. I have chin hair. I have this awkward, gross patch of hair right here, and then I get like, pretty legit sideburns. That's it though. That's the only facial hair that I have, and again, I'm grateful for God. Um, so that's not like that big of a deal. I mean, it is annoying to have to shave, but it could be like 800,000 times worse. So whatever. Um, my facial structure has 100% changed. I mean, I do not look like, not only do I not look like the same person I was before I started testosterone, but I also do not look like the same person that I was when I was on testosterone. It's really, really bizarre because my weight has stayed the same the whole process of me being on T, maybe minus about like 10 to 12 pounds. As in like I've lost 10 to 12 pounds, but it's really bizarre how feminine my face was before. On T, I'd say when I hit about the 6 months mark, and then after that, my face started getting a lot more masculine. My jaw started to change, and I'll add some pictures of that. Which is crazy because when I was in it when I was on T, it looked so feminine. And it was proof that it did because I only got gendered, I want to say maybe 6 times when I was on testosterone for almost the 2 years that I was. So it was like masculine as my face is going to look in the pictures that I'm going to show you of like the comparison of the pre-T 1 year and post-T. I looked like my brother as far as I'm concerned. And now I look like how I look now, which is in a very androgynous state, instead of going back to that hyper feminine look that I had before. Um, so yes, as far as like sexual slash like body changes, my period did come back, or rather like my monthly cycle or whatever the hell you want to call it. That came back in November, which is crazy because that actually took a pretty long time for that to come back. I mean, I stopped taking testosterone in April, and then all the way in November it decided to show up again. So that was kind of a surprise. I was like, because at the time I hadn't had my period for almost 3 years. So that happened. And then the stuff that I don't really like talking about because it's very personal, so I'm just gonna like speed over it. But again, I think it's really informative for people to know. It's just the only reason I'm talking about this because, like I said, it is very personal to me, and it is not something that I discuss on my YouTube as open as I am about everything else in my life. As far as sex goes, the bottom growth that I have has stayed exactly the same. That has not gotten any bigger, any smaller. It's the exact same size as it was before. Um, my sex drive has greatly decreased by like 98%. It's almost non existent. Um, yeah. I mean, before when I was on T, I was a goddamn monster. Anyone that is on T or that was like a teenage boy, you understand what it feels like to be on puberty. Well, I was going through puberty when I was in my late 20s, and I was a savage. Here's what I found on the web for when I was going through puberty. Siri, that's so nice. When I was going through puberty, how sweet. Go away, bitch. So yes, that has completely dissipated, and that's not even a thing anymore. Yes. Mm-mm. And then the most personal thing that I don't want to talk about, but again, informative, is that the way that my body experiences orgasms is a night and day difference. That I don't want to get into detail too much, but all I'm going to say is that the way that my body experiences it, whether it's in like certain regions or whether it's like a full body thing, has completely changed. And like the main, I guess, in addition to that, because I can't say this is any more important than what I just said, but there's a faster like recuperation time in between each orgasm, whereas before when I was on testosterone it would take a lot longer. Like sometimes I would feel a release and then I would fall asleep directly after because I was not able to stay awake. But now that is not a problem anymore. That problem has been eradicated, and I am back to feeling what female orgasms felt like before. And then emotionally, I think the only change that I can really say is that I'm a lot more emotional and I cry a shit ton more than I have in the past 3 years. Like I cry about so much stuff now that it's ridiculous. Like whenever I was on T, I would always say like I'd be feeling all these intense emotions, and I was going through very, very, very traumatic things during my time on T. Like those 3 years of my life, like there was some very serious things happening. Um, and a lot of the times I wasn't able to fully express or like get out what I needed to feel. So what I would find is like the physical motion that I used to describe it is that like my emotions would be up here and I would be constantly hitting a wall and not be able to break through that. So everything felt very stifled and pushed in and pushed down, and the emotion that would come easiest to me would be anger. Sometimes when I would get angry, I feel like I was never destructive, but I felt like I would just like be physical, that I would want to hurt people, I would want to punch people, I would want to throw things, and I would have a really, really hard time calming down. I know sometimes when I would like rehash situations in the past that maybe, you know, had to do with conflict, and I would like be reliving that moment and getting extraordinarily angry all over again. And luckily that anger has dissipated, but now I just cry all the fucking time. Um, and then beyond that, yeah, my acting career has definitely changed, because I am playing male and female roles because I am gender fluid. The only thing that hasn't really changed that I can say like off the top of my head is that my pronouns are still the same. I still exclusively go by he, him pronouns. Um, you know, my name still fits. I haven't like changed my mind about that. And I would just like to say now, if you're still with me, I guess I should have put this at the beginning of the video in case like people stopped watching. But I would just like to clarify that I did not change my mind. I am not a trans trender. I am not being fake. I'm not really trans, and I'm not trans enough. I just felt that for my body and what I needed at the time, that I didn't want to be on hormones anymore. That is not to say that I will never be on hormones ever again in my life. I'm certainly not saying that. But right now I'm happy with where I am, and I know that that was the right decision that I needed to make at the time. Um, and I'm glad that the way things worked out the way that they did, because I don't know, that everything happens for a reason. I have a video on that too. I think it's called Why I'm Glad Testosterone Didn't Work for Me. So I'm going to stop talking now, because this video is already 16 minutes long and I still want to add clips and pictures. So I'm going to let you all go. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any feedback or questions or whatever, you know, always message me. I'm pretty good at responding. You know, if you message me. So I hope this video was informative to human beings out there that were interested in what happens to a female-bodied person when they're on testosterone for an extended amount of time and then they are off it for a year. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not already a subscriber, check out my channel. I talk about a lot of stuff. I talk very openly about my mental health. I talk very openly about my transition, and also about my acting journey and what it is like to be a transgender actor in, you know, America today, and how that's working out. So I hope to become friends with some of you guys. So thanks again, and have a great day, y'all. Bye. Okay, guys, so here's just a few pictures that I want to show you of me when I was on testosterone. See right there, you can see how bad my acne was. This is me at 6 months on T. That was me on my 10-month anniversary, 11-month anniversary. I don't know when the hell that was, but I was really sunburned. That was pretty close to me being a year on T, same as that. One of my favorite shirts. So yes, these are just some pictures of me on testosterone before I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to show you the transition from being off of T into what I look like now. So that first picture was actually me right before I made the video announcing on YouTube that I was going to stop taking T, because terrified that the world was going to hate me. I call that, oh, a cavity. That's the difference between my male presenting headshots. This is actually post-T as well. That was for an audition. That's me without makeup and with makeup, so you can see that my skin really cleared up. That was me where I was playing a cis male role. That was my New Year's outfit. Some Egyptian makeup. So as you can see from all these pictures, the most evident thing is, now these are the most recent, this is like literally in the past month, is that my skin has cleared up immensely. This was actually just yesterday, April 29th, 2018. I really like that sweater. It's like the only feminine sweater that I have. Little rock and roll look. My favorite wig, obviously. It's actually the wig that I am wearing in my video. And this is how I can look androgynous when I'm not wearing a wig. I don't think I pass as male, obviously, but I think I look pretty androgynous. There's the wig again. Hello. Purple vibes. And then upcoming is just a short video that I got to do for a theater company that I'm in that I will end it with. Goth. There you go, y'all. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope this was informative, and I'm sure literally 3 people watched this entire thing, but thank you to those 3 people. And even if you watched bits and chunks, I hope you were able to learn something. All right, bye guys.